Hey everybody, welcome to another quick save review with me, RC, here on GGRC. And I want to be maybe the first to welcome you to Wheel World. Which, you know, how do you feel about a world full of wheels? I mean, really, the game should be called Bike World. It's a world full of bike wheels and bikes, mostly bikes. And spirits? Look at this little skull guy, cute skull guy. He's your boost, believe it or not, in this game. Also, how do you feel about porta-potties? Or the sewer? Like being your fast travel in a game. Yeah, this is a very quirky, strange game without vegging too far into the quirkiness, but we'll get into that. So, in Wheel World, here you are. You play as Kat, K.A.T, who wheels around the world on her bike and can boost with the power of the skull guy. I have finished Wheel World. Took me about 5.5 hours for those of you keeping track. I am playing this on PC, on Game Pass, and I believe this is available just about everywhere. So if this looks cool to you, you can check it out there. This came out a couple months ago, so still relatively fresh game. But this game is all about open world exploration, as well as racing, with a sort of cel-shaded type of look. In the open world here, you could find things like these jumps. When you get those orange flags, you could discover jumps. And, of course, you could discover bike parts, too. So, you can't get... This is one of the weird things about it. You can't get the bike part on your bike. You actually got to hit Y and kind of walk your bike around like this. And grab yourself some sweet wheels, as you can see here, right? But yeah, Wheel World. Oh, geez, let me turn on the sound here so you can hear this interesting song going on. The music of this game definitely goes back and forth between being awesome and being a little annoying, like this one playing right now. It's a bit annoying. I'm not sure what this person's talking about. Recovery? Looks like your bike has some crazy energy reserves. So this is how the talking in the game works. I'm kind of back and forth on this game as far as like the way they present the narrative and the characters and stuff like that, but yeah. Anyway, we'll get into that in just a minute here. So yeah, this game's pretty fun. If from a gameplay perspective, I really had a good time with it. Like, fun, pretty easy racing, I would say, on your bike. You can see my bike is like just this like crazy combination of parts, and that is because here's your map where you can see all the races and everything. We'll get into races in just a minute here, but your bike you could just completely customize with all the parts that you have unlocked. So, you know, we're using the feline frame here, but we could easily just go through here and decide to change the frame up. If you want, you can get a weenie frame. Look like a hot dog. There's let's see if I can find the real nightmare fueled one. Here you go. Yeah, the body one. So you could put complete body parts all over your bike, which includes a big hand that holds your butt in the seat. Very interesting and strange. And there are some achievements for those things too. So hey, what do you say we jump into a race? What do we got here? We got stats. Let's see, we got the cliffhangers. Where are these guys at? Well, which is nice, because I've unlocked all the races in the game. If you need to jump to a race, you can just hit Y on the map. It'll show you where it's at. It is back in this area over here. So let's go check that one out. We will fast travel by using the porta-potty, and it's pretty quick. One of the other things I do want to say is that I am showing this off on PC, as I mentioned, but I did play probably half of this game on my Xbox Series S, and it ran really good on it. You might be looking at this game thinking like, yeah, it shouldn't run too bad. Oh, wait. This is a lone wolf. When these guys ride by, you want to ring your bell at them, and you can race them at any point. Another part of the open world challenge, which is kind of fun. Please note the sort of GPS arrow stuff going on here, right? I will talk about that in just a moment here. But yeah, this ran just great on Xbox Series S, regardless of how you feel about the presentation of the game and the look of it and all that stuff. And it looked just as fine. I think that's always the perk of having a cel-shaded game, right? Is that, hey, when it's cel-shaded, usually it holds up pretty well, despite the machine that it's on, or despite how old it is, you know? Alright, so we beat that guy. Okay, it's your road now, fair and square. The lone wolf guys never really have much else to say other than like, ah, you beat me. Some of them literally just go like, ah! That's it. The dialogue in this game leaves a lot to be desired. The best character in the game is this skull guy who is on the front of your bike and represents your boost. He has the most dialogue, the most jokes. I have not once laughed during this game, but he at least I think is a character that people will find cute. And I think is the standout character in the game. The main character, K.A.T, that you actually play as, I don't know, she doesn't really do much of anything. She basically just bikes. So we are now finally heading over to this race here. We're going to try to collect some letters and get some time going here. Now you see I selected a waypoint, right? Now you would think that when we are doing those, like the lone wolf race there, like it shows you direct with the arrows, like which way you need to go, right? But once you come back to the map after selecting a waypoint, it kind of gives you a waypoint on the map there, but it doesn't actually give you any kind of like GPS lines, which ooh, almost got hit there. I find very strange, because sometimes these races and other things are hidden in odd places. Before we get to the race here, I do want to show this guy here, this little machine guy. You have all of these side gigs or side quests you could do. I don't have any to turn in right now, but once you fill up your punch card here, you can actually turn these in to get coupons, and the coupons can be used to buy even more bike parts from shops like this one. So this guy, one of the other funny things, those guys, they always jump away from you. But they'll have bike parts all over the place here. You can buy them up. I am currently working on buying them all to get the achievement for that. So you won't see any bike parts there to buy, but we'll see if maybe in town somewhere there'll be some bike parts I can grab. So here is the race. Again, I want to point out that anytime you just show up on your bike, even if you're going slow... Oh, they didn't do it. Made a liar out of me. Maybe I need to be going just a little bit faster. But usually, like, they freak out and they jump every single time. These people not jump? Let's see if I just go a little bit faster. Usually they, like, constantly jumping around. Huh. These guys do not budge. Let's see if we can freak out the bike part salesman again. Yeah, see, he just, like, jumps at anything. You just go super slow. They're like, we're just like kind of lounging ourselves in there and he jumps. I don't know what's going on with these people. They have no fear at all. But it is funny when you get to a group of people waiting around at a race and they're just hanging there and you like make all of them jump at once. It's very funny. All right, let's jump into a race here. They're going to be like, blah, blah, blah. Every group of racers that you race against, they all have a personality. For me personally, none of these personalities have stood out whatsoever. But here you go. Here's Scully. He's like, well, kid, looks like we got to take these jokers to school. It's the only one with, like, real standout personality to me in the game. But the racers, at least, the developers went out of their way to, like, make the racers talk. I don't often get to read what they're saying because I'm focusing on racing, which is an interesting choice to have them, you know, speak through text like that. But here we go. Through the race, you have all these checkpoints you have to hit. You also want to try to collect the letters, because if you get the letters, you spell cat or collect cat as you go in here, then you get another piece of, another rep point. And the rep points are important because the rep points are used for you to challenge the really awesome bikers in this world. Oh, there was an A up there to jump. Where's a T? Don't see the T. Sometimes finding the letters is a bit challenging too, but that's one of the fun parts of the game. I think oh, there's the T there. So I'd have to play this one again, actually, if I want to get those. Let's see if we can do it. Let's restart this one and see if we can get in there and get these letters. So this is one of the interesting ones where they only give you 2 laps, so you have to like collect all the letters within 2 laps. So there is a little bit of challenge there. So the challenge with this game doesn't come during the game itself. Like if you want to play through this game, you know, in the 5.5 hours or whatever, and, you know, completely wreck it, get done with it, you can. But if you want to collect everything, you're going to find more challenge, like, you know, trying to collect all the letters and that kind of thing, which, you know, adds replay value, which I think is great. And for me, like, I'm having a good enough time with this game that I'm like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna try to go for the full achievement list here, you know? All right, where's the T? Is it right? Oop, no, I think I went a little too soon. There it is. You got to be careful taking those shortcuts, though, because sometimes they don't list very well, like, which way you need to go, or they don't tell you which way you need to go very well. And so you might go after something or take a shortcut and realize, oh, I missed a checkpoint. Like, it was around the right side, not on the left side. And it completely throws me off sometimes. And as you can see here, too, like, when we did that lone wolf race, you know, between checkpoints, they show the little GPS arrows. And here, between checkpoints, on a main race, they don't at all. You do see some arrows over there kind of telling you, like, hey, you need to turn here. There's also races in this game where, like, it's somewhat hard to actually see, like, which way you need to turn, you know, going left or right coming up, because there's hills and everything. So I feel like they need some accessibility options in here or something that give you a little bit more of a clue as to, like, which way you need to go sometimes, because sometimes it could be a little bit annoying. It's not a huge issue, but still, like, kind of like, eh. So you see here that I just earned 2 rep points. I got 1 for beating Tom's time, and I got 1 for collecting K.A.T and winning. So when you collect those letters, you have to hit first place, too. So there we go. Beat Tom's time. We got 1 rep point. We're at 133. And as I said, I beat this game. I am well over the rep needed for anything. I've finished it. Like, the amount of rep that you need to finish the game is 100. There is a whole other world in this game, like a whole other land, which I'm not going to explore here because I want to save it for you guys in case you want to play this yourselves, because there is a bit of a twist. I wouldn't say it's anything like too alarming or too amazing, but you will at least like be like, oh, this kind of takes the game in a completely different turn. Like, you're still racing, you know, you're still biking. There's nothing really big going on there. It's as far as that, like, the gameplay doesn't change, but the setting does. The setting is what's really going to surprise you. All right, let's jump to the map here. What else can we do? This one we haven't gotten the time yet. Let's go. So this is the city. Let's actually jump over here. Let's fast travel to the city. And so, like, if we set a waypoint to the bike shop here, like, see, it doesn't give us any kind of guidance as to, like, how to get to the bike shop, which is kind of annoying. Here's another lone wolf, though. Ring the bell to challenge him. Yeah, let's challenge him because that one we don't have yet. I believe there's also an achievement for trying to find all of the lone wolves. So you have to find them and beat them, I should say. They do have a different flag on their bike, I guess, when you beat them. So they'll have like a yellow flag on there. But anybody with a blue flag, you should be able to challenge. Yellow flag doesn't... I mean, you could challenge him again if you want, but it won't, you know... You've already raced him, you beat him, so... Unless you want to race him again. And finish! There we go. So there's another lone wolf on the card. And so, we're check the side gig. Where are we at with lone wolves? So you can see up in the top right, we need 1 more lone wolf. We need to defeat 1 more to fill out that card and get some more coupons to buy bike parts. Let's see if we had any bike parts left at this shop, because I don't remember. We cleaned the... I think we cleaned these guys out too. Who is even left that has bike parts? That I don't know. Let's see if we can scare these guys, though. Nope. Didn't scare them. They did not care. I swear I did it earlier to a group. Oh. You also find, like, stray coupons laying around. So we got some coupons there. This town area is pretty cool. I like they put this big town center area in here. It's got a nice feel to it, you know? Okay, I think this guy has a bike part. So here, you just roll up. We need the fork. So we bought the fork. We hit continue. There we go. Use some of our coupons. Oh, and there's a box over here. Box with parts. You want to try to grab these whenever you can. Oh no, that wasn't a part. That was more coupons. Okay, well, I'll take them anyway, right? All right, let's jump over to another race. Let's go do this one over here. I found this one to be pretty fun. Maybe we made that guy jump. Oh, another coupon. I do find it annoying that I gotta jump off my bike to collect everything. I wish I could just, like, as I'm riding by, you know, stay on my bike, hit A, collect those. We are gonna go down here, and we'll play this race because it's pretty fun. Getting over to it is a little strange because you got to go down and around. This is a beautiful area too. I love the way they made this area here. So the main thing with this game is that I think the character and the narrative characters and the narrative are not great. There's more spirits in the game. You actually have to go to these like bell shrines here, which maybe we'll get over to one here in a moment. And what the bell shrines do is they give you more boost and you like talk to another ghost basically. And in this world, supposedly, like the spirits, the ghosts are like really into biking. I don't know why. It's silly, but it's quirky, but it should be more quirky. Like it should be more weird. And when I finished the game, I was actually kind of, there you go, that guy jumped at least. I was kind of disappointed with the actual ending of the game because when it ends, I'm just like, I don't know what I did. I don't know why I'm doing what I'm doing. Does that make sense? Like, I know this is just a little indie game, so it shouldn't be that big a deal, but I was just like, the narrative feels very forced and kind of, you know, it felt like someone was just like, hey, what if ghosts were your boost? And someone was like, yeah. And then they just tried to shoehorn it into the game, you know what I mean? So it's not terrible or anything. It's just kind of like, And all the characters here, like, you know, they just talk. So it's like, if you want to get any kind of personality out of them, you know, there's no VO. So you got to read everything to see if like you care about any of it. But all these squads, like every squad is different. Like this is the shimmy squad, and I guess they dance or something. I don't know. They talk about dancing, but they don't appear to be dancing. I guess that guy's kind of stretch dancing. I don't know. But the groups of characters all have like a different flair and look to them, but like they all just race the same as anybody else. You know, they don't do anything cool during the race to like set them apart. You know. I do remember really liking this race, though. So this is one of the few races where you're going point to point, you know, race A to B. And you'll see one of the other annoying things here, too, is that some of the races you're racing against vehicles or against traffic, which could be a little annoying in future races. In this area, this first world area, it's not too big of a deal. But once you get over to the next world, in some areas the traffic gets a lot heavier. There's also more litter and debris in the road that you hit for no reason, and it slows you down or sometimes knocks you down. And it can be very frustrating. Like, it just, to me at least, like, I'll be in, you know, you're in first and you're about to hit, you know, you're about to hit the finish line, and you turn a corner and there's like a garbage can there and it knocks you down. And then as it repops, or you repop, there's two people in front of you and you lose, right? It's just annoying stuff like that. And it's not a huge deal. It's not like the races are super long, so it's not like you're wasting a lot of time, but it's still just kind of like, man, why? You know? Why even? So less challenging, more just kind of annoying. And I've also had it where like a car will just pull out of nowhere too and hit me like right before I'm getting close to a finish line or something. It's just like, really? There you go. You can see I've already finished everything in this race previously, but still, that's a really fun race there. Let's see. Wheel World. Anything else that we really need to go over? I think you all get the point of this one here. Like I said, I think it's a fun little game. If you're coming to this like for decent racing that's not super challenging, you know, it has a fun, vibrant look to it. You're not expecting much from a narrative or a character perspective. Like, you just kind of want something with decent mechanics that has, like, you know, decent, fun but easy racing in it. Something to do, pass the time, knock off some achievements, that kind of thing. I think that this is a really fun game. Like I said, I'm having enough fun with it, gameplay and mechanics-wise, that I am going to try to 100% this game. So that, you know, that's at least something for me, I would say. I would say that's pretty good praise. So yeah, anyway, that is Wheel World, everybody. We'll end on with this, like, really nice view. How about that? And as always, want to thank you all for watching. And of course, I'll see you all in the next one.